You all right? My name's Paul. I've got autism and I make random videos based on my version of autism and the way my tism, thinks things through. And I throw the videos up on YouTube just in case anyone wants to watch them. Um, it's been a minute. That's the nicest way I can put it because when I started doing these videos, I did quite a few. I was doing them in batches, and then like pretending they were done over a period of time by, changing my t-shirt, messing my beard up a bit more, um, doing one where my hair was a bit longer, going to shave my hair off, coming back, doing another video. And I kind of do them in maybe 4 or 5 videos at a time and then schedule them to come out and then randomly do another video as an update and then realize that it knocked things out of sync and then I'd have to do a load of messing. But anyway, um, so I actually haven't done a video for, I don't know, maybe a month or maybe 3 weeks. That's a good way of putting it. But the plan, I didn't have a plan. I think I've said that before, and I still don't have a plan with what the intentions are on this video thing, YouTube. So I'm still not technically savvy, as you can tell. Um, but I never had an agenda. I didn't have a set day or a set time that the videos were going to come out. I didn't decide to do them on a particular pattern. I didn't have anything in my head. I just wanted to be creative, which I'll get to. Um, but the reason I've not made a video for a while, it's not because I did a load, they were new, it was fun, it was exciting, and then I just lost the interest, which is usually what happens on everything I do. But I just got burnt out with work. That's the real reason. I don't know. I'm doing like three people's jobs, and then covering some of the management role for health and safety, and covering some of the management role in fire, and it's just broken me, to be honest. So when like I actually tried to make some videos last week, and I think I lost like half a day just because I was pressing record, talking, getting so far, and then just going, got no idea what to talk about. What was I on about? Because I knew my mind was heavy. I knew it was foggy. I knew I was just losing the will because, the work, my day job is my day job. It doesn't matter who I do that for. It's always going to be the same. Um, but the extra things that have gone along with it, there's a difference from someone saying thank you for the extra work you do, but there's a difference in when you feel they mean it. And the only way I would feel as if they meant thank you is if there was a change for after the acknowledgement that I'd done too much. And people are saying emails, oh, thanks for getting back to me. Oh, you must be like an octopus on the computer, trying to do all these different things. Like, well, yeah, I am. And in one respect, and I don't want to sound horrible when I say this to some of the people I work with, but if I don't do it, no one will. And it's just been really heavy. It's been too much. And, if I don't do it and no one will, that's right. But then there's bigger ramifications because it gets so far down the line. And then someone eventually goes, didn't we ask those guys to do that? And then I'm part of that collective and I don't want the negativity on it. And I speak to a couple of guys I work with often, and one of them just says, look, I tell you all the time, stop caring. Stop being bothered. They don't care about you. You shouldn't care about them. But you can't change who you are at your core, can you? And I I want to be the guy who helps as much as I can and gets everything to the finish line, and then someone else can go and win the award for what I've done. But as long as they thank you and they mean that thanks, I'll be sat at home with a cup of tea while they go and take all the glory. That's fine. I don't want the glory. I love a challenge, but the challenge has to have an end, no matter how difficult that challenge is. There needs to be a point of that challenge. And at the minute, I just don't see the point of this challenge, like doing three people's jobs. And I know there's some people who are just not doing the same amount of work and we all get paid the same. And I know some of it's my fault, but like I said, if I don't do it, then no one will. And it's just this conundrum that rattles around my head. Excuse me a second. It's the weekend. I've got an alcoholic beverage. Ah, yes. For those wondering, my what looks like just water, it's gin. So I don't mind a gin. It's the Botanist. You know, if anyone wants to buy me a bottle of gin, that's the one to buy. Not that I've ever asked anyone to buy me a bottle of anything. So I like my Botanist gin, no ice, in a whiskey glass, uh, with whatever shop has the cheapest slimline tonic. And it's not because of the diet thing that's going horribly, in case you were wondering. It's because I don't like the taste of tonic, but I also don't think gin tastes nice with lemonade or flavored things. I just need something so it's not knocking me socks off. So yeah, but the reason I've got that, it's actually tying in. I didn't mean this, but I was going to do a video at some point based around hobbies. You know, like what are my hobbies? What do I enjoy? What do other people enjoy? What do you like doing? Um, but then there's someone who watches my videos called Brian. Hi, Brian. I always enjoy his comments. They're always really positive or, uplifting. And we've sent a few emails, and he mentioned about doing a video on creativity. So I was thinking, oh, well, I was going to do one kind of on hobbies, but creativity makes a bit more sense because I don't have a hobby that's not got something creative in it. Um, so this is what this is about. And the reason I've got the alcoholic beverage is for the finale of the video, which is, and please, please, please don't go to the end of the video without listening, because I need to justify why I'm doing what I've done. And this was a bit of Dutch courage, this drink tonight, because of the sheer fear of doing something like this. Because it's hard enough to press record, it's hard enough to put a video online, it's hard enough when you know it's coming out in a few days and you start second guessing the video. All of those things are hard, but then when you do something which opens you up to to ridicule of the highest order, it really, really is an off-putter, and there's no way I could have done it without having a bit of Dutch courage, as they call it, a little bit of the old alcohol. I am over 18, I promise you. I won't show you my ID, you're just going to have to trust me. And yeah, so, I think there's something to be said about creativity. So, like me personally, I'd be lost without it. Like I'm burnt out from work. So how do I clear my brain when I'm burnt out? Well, then I've got to turn to my hobbies. But what are your hobbies? And if my hobbies were watching television, which they're not, I'll watch box sets. I've kind of got to be in control of what I watch. So I don't really watch, soaps on TV at scheduled times. I don't do that. Um, but if I was just watching TV, watching a film, I wouldn't be able to focus because it's not something I'm in control of. I just have to watch something else, and it's boring. And when my head is full and busy of this burnout nonsense and it's work, 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 oh, I've got to remember this for that email tomorrow. And oh, I've got that meeting with that person tomorrow and I don't like them. Oh, I've never met them, but they look like the breath smells. Just all these different things rattling around my head. If I'm not in control of what I need to do to unwind, I won't unwind. I won't recharge. I've said it before, but the seat I'm sat on now is like my phone charger. This is the Paul charger. This is where I feel like I start to have my battery topped up again. And I think it's important, or I certainly think there's something very, very strongly linked with autism and creativity, because, like I say, my hobbies just aren't really non-creative. Even something as simple as like playing Football Manager on the PC. It's you can make your own team. You're always trying to create tactics and create training, and even though it's just a computer game, you're just not walking around shooting people. It's still just a game of statistics, but there's the creativity on it. I'm not an artist. I don't draw. I used to when I was a kid. I used to look at this little character which I sort of copied from a friend in primary school, and that character stayed with me forever. I'd like draw a world and put 3D on it and try and make it pop out and I'd create these little pockets. And it was kind when I look back, it must have been more for that character was me, and those little areas on this abandoned island sort of thing were where I really wanted to be when I look back at it anyway. Um, but the biggest one for me is music. You know, I've got like 80 gigabytes of music on my phone. So when I'm in the car driving and radio is radio, it's not that good. You know, stick the phone in and just have the music on. And, you know, I'm a big lover of metal. I love rock music. I like something where it takes skill or it takes something, you know, like I can, and I used to back in the day, but you know, like I've, like over there, I can't show you, but I've got this MPK Mini from Akai, this keyboard where you can put the drum beats through and you can create what you want, and you've got VST plugins and all that. It's the easiest thing to create a drum beat, you know, like a dance tune. It follows the same rhythm, the same pattern. It's repetitive. You've got your same you know, beats per minute. It's really easy. There's no sort of challenge in that. So, you know, but to get sort of 4 or 5 persons on a stage or in a room and they're all playing together to create that one tone and, you know, kick that music out, that's a skill, you know, because it takes you to be at the forefront, it takes you to be in the background, it takes you to know when your time is, you know, who's keeping the time. You might have the biggest ego, but that drummer's keeping the timing, you know. So for me, you know, music's just great. And when I was younger, I obviously liked the sort of music I liked. Obviously, I'm from Manchester. I was a big Oasis fan and still am. Can't shake that one. It's in my blood. And, you know, and I remember sort of playing in bands, and we always, no matter which band I was ever in, it was always like, you know when you hear bands sort of say, or whatever, it's like these are the influences. You know, you were always trying to write your songs like someone or like someone else. Like you know that band, we want to sound like I don't know Metallica. We want to sound like Metallica. So you know when we do that solo, make sure it lasts for this many bars. And there was always someone to be, you know. And one of the things I've learned about being creative, because you know I'm self-deprecating, I don't think I'm good at anything, I don't like praise, you know, I don't really do well with any of it. But when I was in bands back in the day, I always used to say the same thing, and it still lives true today. And it was always, you know, let's do something simple, you know, simple but effective. If someone hears the song and they're not even paying attention to it, they're looking away, but then their foot's going or they're just tapping the finger, then you've got the right bit of what you need. And then it's like building a house, you know, you've got to have your solid foundation. So write a song really, really simply and build on it if you want to. You know, it might sound fine. Some of the best songs ever have been really simple songs, you know, or just 4 chords all the way through, nice and simple. Um, you know, but it was always trying to do something. And when I sort of got on the thought process of creativity and why is it important, and you know, it's because I have to be in control of something which I find positive, because that has an end game. If I want to write a song, it's got to have an end, it's got to have a start, a middle, everything's got to be there. But while I'm being creative, it's taken away the stress of work. It's taken away the things that have bothered me that day, you know, something that might have upset me. You know, if like I remember, even if, I don't know, maybe a month, 2 months ago, I was in a motorway services and I was getting a McDonald's, um, and I just didn't want to touch the screen, you know, and I'm sort of standing to see whether I can get seen to get served, because they're all just do a touch screen, don't talk to a human anymore, you know, in the McDonald's, in the services especially. And I'm sort of just stood there like trying to get their attention. And this lady behind me just, you know, was like, "What are you doing?" You know, and she was sort of like, "I'm number 33." Because they must have been queuing in order for the collection. But I was trying to talk to a human and it just made me get really flustered. So I just left, you know. And for me to forget about that, because I could have been rude. I could have been rude, or I could have explained myself, and I'm not explaining myself to people. Um, but feeling all flustered. Come home, pick a guitar up, and I've got no idea what I want to do. And I always usually start with playing other people's music, but then I might like the transition of a couple of chords and think, yeah, maybe I'll play guitar myself. And the one bit of advice that I wish I could have, like, if I could go back in time and give myself, because I had the right idea with keep it simple but effective because you can build on it, was I would like to go back and say all the genres, all the different types of music, when you pick a guitar up and you just like what you play, if you like it, keep it. If you like the words that come out of your mouth, or you like that structure, but nobody else will, keep it. Because one of the things I struggled with when I used to write music a long time ago was not making it sound like someone. I'm not too bad at making songs sound like someone else's, but I never actually wanted to do that. That was just what it sort of dictated from bands. But I think it was last year I picked the guitar up and I've not played them for a long time, and it was because a friend of mine, Craig, a guy I'm going away for a couple of days with, and I keep meaning to do a video about it because I'm doing something stupid, which I kind of want to tell you guys about first, because he won't know what I'm going to do, but I'll have to do that in another video. And Craig had started doing music and was sending it to me, and it was a bit rock, it was a bit indie, it was a bit Motorhead, it was a bit Linkin Park, it was a bit mismatch of all sorts. And I was like, what sort of genre is this? And he was like, Craig's genre, I'm just doing my own thing. And for some, it's always the simplest of things that are the most profound with me, And when he said that, it sort of was like a penny dropped, and it was, yeah, why am I, or why have I always tried to write my music for other people? Just to get that nod of approval, just to get that recognition or acceptance, like you belong. You're writing music on par with someone else, or I don't fully know, but it's kind of along them lines. And I thought, you know what, Craig, you're right. And I picked my guitar up, and I always had these two chords in my head, and they were all the way from back when I was in a band, like at school, And I can't remember what the song was called, but it just started with these two chords, and I just liked the way they went with each other. I think it was like E minor and D sus or whatever, because I don't read music and I don't know it. Uh, so I just always liked the way it went. And obviously last year I fully knew I had autism. So and this is the whole bit. So I'm gonna need a bit more Dutch courage because I'm struggling to try and tell my story here. And the reason I'm struggling to tell my story is because I'm trying to talk about me in a good light. I'm not good at that. So, because I can't stand it when people do as well. It's like, oh, get over yourself. But I'm not trying to do it that way. I'm trying to say I broke through, a kind of barrier, just where I've had this mental block all of my life. And I just started playing and singing. And the words that were coming out, I didn't know where they were coming from. And that's going to sound nuts, but I think it was because I had in my mind, Craig just said he'll play whatever he does. It's not for anyone else. It's for him. It's his music. And I was feeling that approach, and I started singing these words. And because the way I write music is I'll just play a bit on guitar. I'll have my headphones on. I'll have an effect on, and I'll just start singing with no plan. I just let the music tell me what words should be there. And I said these certain words and I wrote them down, and I thought, they're really good words. And I was sort of like, really surprised, and I wrote maybe uh, the two first verses and turned it all off and saved it, and then I always forget how the singing structure was. So I'd recorded a little bit of the singing structure, but what was weird is when I came back to it, like a couple of weeks later, I remembered exactly how it went, and I loved that. I was like, "Oh, why can't I have that all the time?" Because I've got such a bad memory. And the song that I'm talking about now is actually a song I wrote without realizing fully um, at the time when I was writing it, but then it made more sense as I was sort of just finalizing the words. Is that it was about autism and how it made me feel, how I act, how I behave, and like because the first line of the song is sneaking around to avoid myself, and when I've sort of dissected each line, I've thought, wow, I'm a mess. Because it's the first lines are sneaking around to avoid myself, stop my heart beating to save your health. Uh, and when I sort of read them back, I'm like, they're good words, but where have they come from? And then as I recorded the song, not professionally or anything like that, just through the computer. I'm not, fancy pants or anything like that. But I recorded the guitar and sang through the computer, and I listened to the words back, and I was like, I felt that, and I realized that it was because I don't know how to project when it's about me. I don't know how to give myself across. I don't know how to behave sometimes. I don't know how to explain to anyone how I feel. And there I was playing these words of, to stop my heart beating to save your health. And it was like, yeah, that's crazy because, right now in work, what am I doing? I'm doing three people's jobs and no one is helping. No one's bothered, but I am, so I'm limiting myself. I'm causing myself stress and burnout because I want everything and everyone to be all right because it's kind of like I'm not worthy enough to be all right, and sneaking around to avoid myself. The first line, it's, yeah, that's how I feel, because I don't know how to deal with myself sometimes. I don't know the best outcome. I don't know the best solution. I like, I was contacted today about applying for a job, this head of health and safety manager's role. And, it was for a housing company, and I've got the experience for all that. Sneaking around to avoid myself. I avoided that because I didn't know how I would react if I started to apply to it. Kind of like I've got two people living inside my head, if I just draw the line under it and I sort of go, no, no, Paul, come on, and pull myself away, I don't have the same effect, and um, like and the last line of them too, it's like sneaking around to avoid myself, stop my heart beating to save your health, hated by most and only loved by some and then by none. And I remember sort of reading it back going, yeah, that it rolls off the tongue when you sing it as well. And I'm not just saying the words, I'm actually, this is why I've got this. It's because I've recorded the music and I'm going to add it to the end of the video. I'm going to share this song about autism. It's called Bones. Let me have a drink. Oh, the things we do. But the reason I've done it is because I'm basically saying, look, I'm putting myself out there. This certainly isn't for praise. Certainly isn't for people to go, oh my God, I love your music. Trust me, this really isn't for that. This is for the same reason I'm doing the videos. And that is, there's just some people who want to talk, who are like me, but can't, or just don't feel ready yet to do videos. And I know that that's the case because I get emails from these people and I get comments from these people. I leave the comments there. Go and read them if you think I'm a liar. And so the reason I've decided to put the song on is to basically go, look, I'm putting myself out there to say that it really doesn't matter what anyone else will think. What matters is that you enjoy your process. If you do art and you just enjoy drawing or painting a stick figure, it's not impressive, but did you enjoy it? Yeah, all right. Same with my music. My music is not impressive, but do I enjoy the process? Yes. And let's say you did just draw a stick figure. I wouldn't just look at it and go, "Oh, it's a stick figure." I'd say, "What's that about?" There might be a massive story into that picture because it's yours, it's your perspective, it's what you've done. Did you put the effort in? Is this what you need? Does this give you your separation? Does this allow you to forget about the rest of the world when you need to sometimes? And if the answer is yes, then that's a brilliant picture. Well done. You got what you needed from it. It doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what I think. It did it for you. And that's what I've had to learn at my ripe old age about my music. I've had to realize that it's for me, but the difference is, like, I've wrote a song called KL, but it's also called Set It Off and Set It All. But that'd be a whole nother video, a whole nother story. And the way I've done that, it doesn't sound impressive, but the story, I could be here for 4 hours telling you why it is the way it is. This one's called Bones, and it is 2 chords all the way through it, and it never changes apart from picking to strumming. The vocals are me just singing with some reverb and a bit of harmony on it, and then I sing with myself for the chorusy sound. I don't duplicate it. I've got none of that auto tune. I've got none of that leveling. If somebody said, "What exactly is absolutely everything you've done on your voice?" I will go into the software and I will write it down for you, because I'm not trying to prove anything or defraud anything, but I've added the song. I've put it on at the end of this video, which is why I'm drinking, because I can't believe I'm doing it. I did actually film it, but when I took the card out and I threw it in the computer, I deleted the wrong video file because I usually have them all in sort of time order. And last time I did it, I changed them for name order because I was swapping a load of pictures out and doing all this stuff, and I wanted to do it in sequence. And put it this way: I deleted the video and I tried filming it for about 45 minutes for a 4-minute song, and wasn't willing to do it again. So it literally just is the guitar in the computer, the vocals done, so singing and playing at the same time, and then I just listened back to the song and sang it again, and just put it over it a bit quieter with a fair whack of reverb on, because I can't sing. Because I used to sing in bands. My voice has now fell off the shelf, so to speak, and I love writing really slow songs. And what all I would ask you to do, if you'd be so kind, is, it's not anything fancy. I just want you to try. Hopefully, I've been coherent, but I want you to try and hear the words, because for someone who's autistic, it's just basically about being empathetic in a world that you don't belong in. The things you're willing to do, which don't ultimately help you, and how you feel in this world. And like I say, it's called Bones because the chorus is "Sticks and stones may break my bones." Because yeah, they might, and they say, because it's from that old saying, isn't it? "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me." Well, the reason I don't say that last bit is because names hurt like a mother. And that's kind of a connotation in it. But anyway, I've waffled on for long enough. I hope I've made a bit of sense, because I am a bit juiced up on the alcohol, but I need it for the courage to do this. To say, and I'm putting the video up to basically say, whatever your hobby is, whatever your creativity is, let it out. Do it for you and no one else. And if other people like it, then that's just all gravy, baby. And if they don't, it doesn't mean you have to change what you do. All right. So I hope you like it. I hope the words come through, and I apologize if sound levels are off because I've recorded it through a different software. Anyway, so give it a listen, and until next time, here's Bones, and keep smiling.
heart beating to spare your help. Hated by most and only loved by some, then by no one. Abandoned alone, I will find my way. Temptation alluring to lead me astray. If I stayed tonight, I would sleep a few hours, then I'll be gone. Say I'm a user, abuser, the last to be known. If I defend myself, I'm emotional, but I'm okay, I feel fine. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Counting your blessing, but it's not my fault. You leave me with no